Hi, it's Donna, your homegrown gourmet, half of the Gourmet Are Good Enough team, with that twin sister of mine, Diane. Today, it's all about using up last year's harvest before this year's garden. So we are going to be making butternut squash lasagna, and I'm going to use fresh pasta. So let's get started. So my go-to pasta recipe is 9 ounces of flour. You can use all-purpose. You can use that 00 pasta flour. That's what I have today. 9 ounces of flour, we add 6 ounces of egg. I have about 3 full eggs and then some egg yolk. I'm just gonna break that up a little bit. Try to keep it in the well. Woo! Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. See what we can do with that. All right, no problem. You know, if this happens to you, don't sweat it. It's a little frustrating, but what are you gonna do? So I like to add more egg yolk than whole eggs. Gives it a nice richer dough. Try to incorporate this. And like I said, if if this happens to you, it's no big deal. You just deal with it. Okay, I think I'll use my hands now. It's gonna be a little sloppy because I had an overflow, but that's okay. It's all gonna work out in the end. Okay, so not my best effort. So I am going to work with this dough and knead it until it's supple. And when you knead dough, you bring it forward and then push away with your palm. So you bring it forward, push away, forward, push away. I think the more that I knead it, the suppler it's going to become. And see, I did lose some volume there because I had such a mess. But hey, what happens in the kitchen sometimes stays in the kitchen. I'm gonna continue to knead this for about 10 minutes and then I'll let it sit while I make the filling. So earlier today, I roasted some butternut squash, put it at 400, a little bit of salt and pepper and olive oil. Roasted it for about 45 minutes till it was beautifully fork tender. So I'm gonna go ahead and scrape all of this in my bowl and then we'll go on to the next. I'm going to add some ricotta cheese. I've got about 6 ounces, some Parmigiano Reggiano. Give it a nice bite. You could use Pecorino Romano if you choose, that's okay too. Provolone perhaps. And let's do about a 1/4 cup. I'm going to use pepper, fresh ground pepper. I'm gonna hold back on the salt. We are going to salt the water for the noodles. One of the things I like to use is some nutmeg. It has a great flavor and it just adds that little extra that you're looking for in this dish. Lastly, I have some fresh sage that I pulled from the garden. I am going to finely chop this. And that goes in. Our filling is done. We need a quick sauce for our dish. I'm doing a bechamel. I have heated 2 tablespoons of butter, and now I added 2 tablespoons of flour. Let that cook for about a minute to cook out the flour taste. I'm adding 1 cup of half and half. And then to lighten it up just a bit, a little bit of chicken stock. I got about 1.5 cups. And we just need to heat this through and stir it until it becomes nice and thick. Time for salt and pepper. So when you're making a roux-based sauce, and that's when you use butter and flour or some kind of fat and flour, your sauce will be as thick as it is when it comes to a boil. So that is as thick as it's gonna get. If it was too thick, I could add more chicken stock or more cream, but I think this is gonna be perfect. So our bechamel sauce is done. Our pasta water is boiling and our dough has rested and it is nice and supple. I'm so happy. was a little worried about that. Cut this in half, and I'm going to roll this out to a nice rectangle. So my pasta machine is set on the lowest setting. Turn it on and feed it through the center. I love using this pasta machine. It's so great. Now we want to sprinkle it with a little bit of flour, so we don't want it sticking. So just a little bit. And I'm going to run it through again at this first setting. I'm going to move it up to the next setting, which is number 2. A little bit more flour. And we're going to run it through again. And each time you run it through, it compresses more and more. It gets a little longer, it gets a little thinner. Look at that gorgeous color. That's because we used more egg yolk and a nice rich dough. So I turned my speed up a notch, and I'm up to number 7 on the dial. And we're going to go one more time. I think that's going to make it. Look how gorgeous. You can see my hand through there. It's nice. Okay, I want to measure how wide I need my pasta noodles. So let's see what we need here. Okay. Woo, look at that. I love it. I'm so excited. Next, I'm going to boil these for about 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. Drain it, and then I'll be ready to assemble my dish. So I have my bechamel. One of the things I like to do anytime I make a cream sauce, just to really, really liven it up, is I squirt a little bit of lemon, fresh lemon in there. Now we start with some sauce on the bottom. Take one of our beautiful pasta sheets. Perfect fit. I love it. And now we're going to add some of our beautiful filling. If you wanted to, you could add sausage or maybe ham. That would be okay. I'm going to go vegetarian today. There we go. A little more bechamel. Doesn't really matter the order that you do this in, as long as you start with the sauce on the bottom and then the pasta sheet. I'm going to put on a little bit of mozzarella, more of my wonderful filling. Another pasta sheet going down. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have a spatula. I'm having a lot of fun here. Okay, my last pasta sheet. A little bit of sauce on the top. And the rest of my mozzarella. In the oven it goes, covered, 350 for about 30 minutes. I'll remove the foil, and then we'll cook it another 10 to 15 minutes till it becomes golden brown. Here is the finished dish. Doesn't it look beautiful? I allowed it to cool for about 10 minutes so that I could cut it. So let's give it a try. Look how pretty that looks. Wow. Okay, time to dig in. This is a great dish. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, the full recipe will be in the description down below. Until next time, ciao. Wow, sometimes I even amaze myself.